Archimedes and the Door of Science by Janine Bendrick. Chapter 13. The End of Archimedes. For 3 years Marcellus held Cyprus in siege, but he did not just sit outside the walls and wait. He overran a great part of Sicily and won many towns from the Carthaginians. He captured the camp of Hippocrates and killed him and 8,000 of his men. He watched Cyprus and waited. He explored and he planned. One day, in 212 BC, he noticed a wall and a tower that were poorly guarded, and he had his workmen building scaling ladders to their measure. The people of Cyprus were sure that the machines of Archimedes would protect them forever, and so they had grown very careless. True, there were some supply shortages, but otherwise they had almost forgotten they were at war. The Feast of Diana was a festival that Cycrusians loved, and they celebrated it with dancing and games, with food and wine. They celebrated so merrily that the Roman soldiers crept over the wall and into many parts of the city without ever being noticed. At daybreak, Marcellus ordered his soldiers everywhere to sound their trumpets. The blare of the trumpets from many directions, the sight of the Roman soldiers appeared in the streets, the noise of their running fleet, and the clanging of their armor started a panic in the city. Believing they had already been captured, the people of Cyprus fled, screaming in all directions. Marcellus watched from the hill, with tears streaming down his face. The city was beautiful, and he knew that in a few hours it would be plundered, blackened and burning, with many of its people dead. Plundering was considered the right of soldiers, and no officer, not even Marcellus, dared forbid it. But he ordered all his men to take as slaves only those who were slaves already, and to leave the citizens of Cyprus free. And above all, Marcellus commanded his men, let no one dare lay a hand on the person of Archimedes, or on his house or his belongings. I long to meet this man, to sit down and talk with him, and to pay honor to a mind that dwarfs the thinking of most men. When you reach the house of Archimedes, bring him instantly before me. In his house, Archimedes was working on a problem. He sat bent over a diagram he had drawn in the sand on the floor. He was so intent on it that he had forgotten the war. He did not hear the shouts, the screaming, or the trumpets, or smell the smoke, or know the city had been taken. His mind and his eyes were on his problems, and when a Roman soldier appeared and spoke to him, he heard his voice as if from far, long way off. "I command you, old man," the soldier shouted roughly, "to follow me instantly to the general Marcellus." Archimedes hardly glanced at him. Leave me," he said impatiently. "Can't you see that I'm working? I must finish my problem, and only then will I come to your Marcellus. The problem is more important, so go away." "How can I leave this unanswered and imperfect?" The soldier laughed and put his foot squarely on the drawing. "Stand off my diagram! You are spoiling it!" Archimedes cried angrily. "Stand off, I say!" And he brought his drawing stick down sharply on the soldier's sandal. The soldier stepped back, white with fury. Drawing his sword, he ran Archimedes through, as the old man was bending again to his problem. When Marcellus heard that Archimedes was dead, he had the soldier killed as a common murderer, and mourned Archimedes as a friend. He sought out the old man's friends and relatives and honored them, and he had Archimedes buried with great ceremony, and on his tomb he had engraved this figure that Archimedes wanted on his tomb.